Okay, so now the second problem what we are going to have, again this is also on the optimum number of rain gauge stations, similar to the first problem that we have solved up. Okay, so I'll just read it out. A catchment has 7 rain gauge stations. In a year, the annual rainfall recorded by these stations or by these gauges are as follows. Okay, here they are given the station name as P, Q, R, S, T, U, and V for the 7 existing rain gauge stations which are there. Okay, and the rainfall that has been collected over there is 130, 142.1, 118.2, 108.5, 165.2, 102.1 and 146.9. So these are nothing but the amount of rainfall that they have collected in terms of centimeters. Now, for a 5% error in the estimation of mean rainfall, calculate the minimum number of additional rain gauges to be installed in the catchment. So again here what they are trying to ask you is basically this is our catchment area. If I just try to draw it over here, yeah. So if I imagine this as my catchment area, okay, I have currently how many 7 rain gauge stations which are there. Okay, so having that in mind, let us say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let us say 7 somewhere here. Okay, so right now we have 7 rain gauge stations in this particular catchment area. So keeping that in mind, they have given you again the similar data with respect to the previous problem what we have solved, and they are asking you to determine for an error, allowable error of 5%. So last time it was 10%, now they have reduced it to 5%. So at that point of time, what will be the minimum number of additional gauges required to be installed in that particular catchment? So what they are asking is what will be the additional gauges, rain gauges that are required in this particular catchment, so that you can basically have the error limited to 5%. Now keeping the same trend what we have previously done, so station name already they are given, so the same thing we have written it down, and based on that even the amount of rainfall data that has been collected from them is also given over here. Okay, keeping this in mind, now if I just try to write it down, so here it will be like this is P1, so this will be P2, and here it will be P3, here it will be P4, here it is P5, P6, and lastly P7. So since we have 7 rain gauge stations, so here ultimately I am having how many? 7 or else for all these formulas which are there. So wherever this Pi is there, right? So your values or expansion will vary from P1, P2 up till P7. So this is how the formulas are going to expand for this particular problem. And one more thing I forgot, basically this particular problem was asked in June 2013. Okay, so even with the reading I have even given those details for you for your cross reference. Okay, okay, keeping that in mind, now again coming back to the problem. So here also, as you have checked out, we need to determine what your ultimately the value of n. So n is given by Cv by epsilon the whole square, where again here they have just given the value of epsilon as how much? 5%, whereas you don't know the value of Cv. So for that again Cv will be 100 sigma m minus 1 divided by p bar. Here also you don't know the value of sigma m minus 1, neither p bar. So that's why again you need to determine what is the formula for sigma m minus 1. So that will be 1 square root of 1 divided by m minus 1, summation of I varying from 1 to m, pi minus p bar the whole square. Now similarly your p bar value will be what? 1 by m, summation of I varying from 1 to m of pi. So here wherever these pi's are there, so these will be varying from 1 to 7. Okay, so as I have explained you in the previous slide, so the same kind of thing is again expected for this particular problem also. Okay, keeping that in mind, now if I try to explain this, so here also, since we don't know have the values of required things, so again we'll initially start off for the calculation of p bar, then I'll go for sigma m minus 1, then I'll calculate CV, and ultimately finally I am going to calculate the value of n with respect to the all the data that has been calculated. Okay, keeping this in mind, now if I just go here. Okay. Now if I try to explain this, check out. So first thing is p bar. So again that is 1 divided by n summation of I varying from 1 to n. So here your entire formula is 1 by m. M value is how much? 7, which is already given in the problem. Okay. Into bracket. So pi, as I said, summation of I varying from 1 to m of pi whenever it is there. If you expand this summation, basically we'll be getting what? P1 plus P2 plus P3 plus P4 plus P5 P6 plus P7 till P7 you are going to come here. The reason for that is you can check out here in this we have 7 drain gauge stations, and similarly we'll be having the values from P1 to P7. Okay, keeping that in mind, now you can check out. So the P1 value is how much? 130, so that is written over here. P2 value is 142.1, so the same thing is written over here. Similarly 118.2, that is written over here. 108.5, that is there. 165.2, that is there. Next we have 102.1, that is there, and finally 146.9, which is over here. So we had varied it from P1 to P7. So if you do this calculation, here I am getting it as what? The arithmetic average of the precipitation is 130.42 centimeters, which is going to be there. Okay. So similarly, sigma m minus 1, the next step, that is square root of 1 by m minus 1 summation of I varying from 1 to m. So here it is pi minus p bar the whole square, which is available over here. Okay, keeping that in mind, if I now determine this particular sigma m minus 1 value, so here the things will get a bit complicated, because in the previous problem it were only 4, here it is 7. So please do not make any hurry whenever you calculate this step, because most of the students go wrong over here. The reason for this is what? They try to calculate all these things in a single stretch in the calculator. So even if you miss out any one of the brackets, then your entire answer is going to get wrong. So that's why it is better to do it individually, write it down, since you will get sufficient marks for this. It is better to take the precaution, and step by step you calculate and get the answers, so that it will be easier for you to maintain. Okay, so here if I check out, 1 by m minus 1 is 1 divided by 7 minus 1, which is available. Now into bracket pi minus p bar. So pi is varying from what? P1 to P7. P1 to P7. Similarly, P bar is fixed, that is 130.42 centimeters in this second problem. Now here what will I do? P1, 130 is nothing but what? P1 minus P bar the whole square plus P2. P2 is how much? 142.1. The same thing is there. 142 minus 130.42, that is nothing but your P bar the whole square. Similarly, 118.2 is your P3 minus 130.42, that is nothing but your P bar, plus 108.5, that is P4 minus P bar the whole square. Similarly, 165.2 is your P5 minus 130.42, that is your P bar the whole square. Similarly, 102.1 is P6 and 146.9 is P7. So the whole square. So whatever the calculation is there, everything will be under root as it is shown over here. Okay. So next step for this, better, as I said, you please calculate it each bracket wise or each term wise, so that the chances of getting the error will be less over here. Okay. Having done the same thing, 1 by 6 into bracket 0.17, that is 130 minus 130.42 square, that is 0.42 minus 0.42 square, it is going to be 0.17. So if you check out whether your pi is greater or p bar is greater in any of the cases, okay. So since we are squaring each of these terms, ultimately everything will become positive, okay, even if it is negative. Right now if you check out 130 minus 130.42, it is actually what, minus 0.42 will be your answer, okay. Minus 0.42, the whole squared basically is going to be how much, 0.17. So that is a positive number that you are going to get it over here, okay. Similarly the second term is 136.42, third term is 149.32, and so on and so forth, okay. Ultimately if I do this calculation, I'll get 508.27. again square root of that will be 22.54. So this sigma m minus 1, the standard deviation for this particular problem, has come out to be 22.54. okay. Now next step is to determine the value of CV. okay. So now this CV is nothing but what, 100 sigma m minus 1 divided by p bar. okay, 100 sigma m minus 1 divided by p bar. So in this case it will be what, again 122.54 from the previous calculation divided by p bar value is 130.42. so that will be there, and ultimately you will be getting 17.24. so here this is actually in terms of percentage. So this CV value will be in terms of percentage, 17.28. Now next, finally, if I determine with n is equals to CV by epsilon the whole square, then 17.28 what I have got divided by 5, that is the percentage error. So here I am getting it as what, 11.94. this is the value what I am getting. So again I will round it out to the next number, so that will be how much, 12 numbers. Now check out. So based on this particular explanation which have been given to us, okay. Yeah. So initially what I have shown, this is our catchment. So here already only 7 rain gauge stations are existing with us. Okay, 7 rain gauge stations are existing with us. But if you want to make sure that the error is limited to only 5%, if you want to make sure that error is limited to only 5%, so at that point of time what you should do is, you should have at least how much, 11.94 rain gauge station. So 0.94 is not feasible, so you are rounding it up to the next number, so that is 12 numbers. okay. So if you check out here, therefore this 12 minus 7 is indicating actually what, tell me, this is nothing but the n value. So I'll write it again, I'll change this color. okay. Okay, so here it is basically telling what, capital N minus M. It is capital N minus M itself is what, 12 minus 7. So how much, 5 rain gauge stations are, additional rain gauge stations are required over here. So the same thing if I just try to draw it over here, 1, let us say 2, 3, 4, 5. So this blue colored one, 5 what we have installed. So 5 new rain gauge stations are to be installed in this catchment area to make sure that the percentage error in the collection of rainfall data will be limited to only 5%. And one more thing here that you need to remember is, in the previous problem I have not expressed that since it was the first problem. If you check out the theoretical aspect, the theory bit for this formulas what I have given for this n is equals to CV by epsilon the whole square, okay. So at that point of time you can imagine one more condition what they have given is, 10% of the rain gauge stations should be recording type. What they say is 10% of the total rain gauge stations which will be available, that should be of a recording type. So right now if you check out, so optimum number of rain gauge stations in this entire catchment area is how much, it has become now 12. So what is 10% of this 12, that is 1.2. okay. So again 1.2 is not a feasible number, so again you are expecting that to the next number, so that is 2.0 or 2 numbers. So what this particular statement indicates is, out of 12 rain gauge stations that are required totally for this catchment area, at least 2 of them should be of what? Recording type. So out of 12, 2 should be of recording type, and the remaining 10 which are there, that can be of non-recording type of rain gauge station. So already we have studied what are recording type and what are non-recording type of rain gauge stations. So even whenever you solve the problem, so 12 is not your answer. I'll repeat this again. 12 is not your answer. As per the question what they have asked, determine or else calculate the minimum number of additional rain gauges to be installed in the catchment. What they are saying is you need to determine what will be the additional number of rain gauge stations which are required. So additional number of rain gauge stations required is 5. How you got it? That is capital N minus small m. So capital M, N is nothing but the number of rain gauge stations required, and M is nothing but the number of existing stations which are already available in the catchment area. So here 5 will be your answer. But apart from this 5, okay, that is one part. Okay, so as I have written here, with the 2 rain gauge stations must be of recording type. Why this 2 rain gauge stations should be of recording type? Because they have a clause in that theoretical aspect, so the overall performance of the catchment area data collection will be of a superior quality if 2 of the means 10% of the rain gauge stations what we have in the catchment area are of recording type. So that with the recording type, basically you can determine even the intensity of rainfall, duration of rainfall, even when the rainfall has started, when it has stopped. So all such kind of additional data can be determined with the help of recording type of rain gauge station. So that's why what they prescribe, what is required is basically we can have 10% of the total rain gauge stations which are needed to be made up of a recording type. I hope this is clear for you. So that's why again I'll repeat, out of the 12 rain gauge stations which is required for this entire catchment area, 10% should be of recording type. So 10% of 12 is how much? 1.2. So 1.2 is not a feasible number, so that's why I am rounding up to the next number, that is 2. So out of 12, okay, 2 should be of recording type, or else 2 is expected to be of recording type, and the remaining 10 can be of non-recording type. So there is no limitation that, okay, so 10 should be non-recording. No, there is no need for that. Even this minimum percentage is 10. Okay, even if you have 3 recording type and remaining 9 as non-recording, that is also fine. Okay, there is no constraint regarding how many non-recording should be there. No, as much as possible you want to have a higher number of recording rain gauge stations. If it is not feasible, then only the minimum value what they prescribed is 10% that needs to be there. Okay, so I hope this clears the second problem. Here I have covered with the additional of this percentage of recording type of rain gauge stations that are required for you. Okay. So this is the third problem for that optimum number of rain gauge stations. So this question has been asked in June 2015. Okay, then this is for 6 marks, which was asked. Okay. So now the average annual rainfall for 8 rain gauge stations in a basin are 1000, 950, 900, 850, 800, 700, 600 and 400 mm respectively. Okay, if the permissible error is 6%, determine the optimum number of rain gauges required in the basin. So again, what this particular question is trying to indicate is, if I try to draw it over here, okay, sorry, yeah, draw it over here, okay. If I have this as my catchment area, so currently I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 rain gauge stations. So ultimately I have 8 existing rain gauge stations with me, and if 8 rain gauge stations are there, then with for an error of 6%, that is your epsilon value is limited to how much, 6%, then what will be the optimum number of rain gauge stations that are required? That will be your n value. So how much is the value of capital N is being asked in this question. Okay, so here also if I just try to again do that, so since they have not given any names, okay, here you can give it as 1 to 8 or A B C D E F, so whatever nomenclature that you like, you can basically give that. Now again coming back, so we need to go back in the reverse order with respect to the formulas. So that is, initially I'll find out P bar, then sigma m minus 1, then I'll determine CV, and finally I'm going to determine the value of n. Okay, so again for this, again I'll explain the nomenclature for these will be what. Here this will be P1, P2, it will be P3, P4, P5, P6, P7, and finally P8. Okay, so again your arithmetic average of rainfall received, that will be is equals to 1 by m summation of I varying from 1 to m of Pi. So keeping this in mind, so right now my Pi will vary from what, P1 plus P2 plus P3 and so on up till how much, P8. So this is how much basically we are going to vary it, since we have 8 existing rain gauge stations over here. So again explaining this, so 1 by m value is how much, 8, which is already given in the problem. So 1 by 8, so 1000 is nothing but your P1. Next 950 is P2, 900 is P3, 850 is P4, 800 is P5, similarly 700 is P6, 600 is P7, and finally 400 is P8. So if you do the calculation, ultimately you are going to get how much, 775 millimeters. So irrespective of whatever the unit is going to be, in the previous two cases the unit was centimeters, okay, and here the unit is millimeters. So none of the formulas, neither the any conversion factor will be used, because all these things, whether if it is in centimeters or millimeters, so your entire calculations will be on the same lines, and ultimately this value of n is unitless. So that's why you will not face any difficulties whenever the units of the precipitation measurement changes, only for this first type of problem what we are discussing right now. Okay, keeping this in mind, next thing is with respect to sigma m minus 1. So again here it will be 1 divided by m minus 1 summation of I varying from 1 to m from Pi minus P bar the whole square. So here also your second term P bar is going to remain constant throughout this problem. So that constant is how much? It is 775, which is available. Okay, so only that thing is going to be there in all the second terms as I am showing it over here. Fine. Similarly, your first term will be varying from, this is nothing but P1, 1000, 950 is P2, 900 is P3, 850 is P4, 800 is P5, 700 is P6, yeah, sorry, 700 is P6, 600 is P7, yeah, and 400 is P8. So basically with this, again I am requesting everyone to calculate these brackets individually, because if you don't do that, definitely there will be some kind of error whenever you determine the sigma m minus 1. Most of the students, what we have seen from the previous batches, they try to do this calculation at once and they go wrong with the calculation of sigma m minus 1. Once this value itself is wrong, ultimately your CV itself will be wrong, and in turn the value of capital N, that is optimum number of rain gauge stations, is also going to become wrong. Okay, so don't do that. Please calculate this step by step. So the first this 1000 minus 775, the whole square is 50,625. Similarly, the next one, that is 950 minus 775, the whole square is 30,625. Next 900 minus 775, that is 15,625. Now the fourth bracket, that is 850 minus 775 the whole square is 5625. Similarly, the fifth bracket, what we have is it is 800 minus 775, so that is 625. Similarly, we have 700 minus 775 the whole square, that is 5625. Next we have 600 minus 775 the whole square, that will be 30,625. And finally 400 minus 775, that is 1,40,625. So if you do this entire calculation, okay, if you add it up, ultimately your value will be square root of 40,000, that is going to come, and ultimately your sigma m minus 1 value is going to be how much? 200. Okay, 200, that is going to be the value. Now next thing will be CV. So this CV is given by 100 sigma m minus 1 divided by P bar. Okay, 100 sigma m minus 1 is 200 from the previous step. 775 is the P bar from again the previous steps what we have done. So based on this, your particular value of CV will be 25.80 percentage. It is 25.80 percentage. Now similarly, the last formula, n is equals to CV by epsilon the whole square. So there we have 25.80 divided by 6. So 6 is nothing but the epsilon value what they have given. So ultimately we will be getting 18.49. So again we are rounding up to 90. Okay. So as I have explained again, right now for this particular catchment area, to keep the error limited to 6%, so total number of rain gauge stations required is 19, but right now we have only 8 rain gauge stations with us. So that's why we need to have 11 new rain gauge stations. So that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. So the blue colored one right now what I have shown is basically the new rain gauge stations. So ultimately how many are required? It is 19. Okay, out of 19, how many should be self-recording type? That is 10%. So 10% of 19 is 1.9. I am rounding up to how much again? 2. The next integer. So ultimately what you should say is total requirement is 19, already 8 are available, so 11 new rain gauge stations are required, and out of this 11, okay, 2 should be what? Recording type. Why I am telling you out of 11 2 should be recording type? The reason I tell you, because for the existing 8 stations which they have given it over here, okay, they have not mentioned it whether they are recording type or non-recording type. They have not mentioned any of this. So imagining that they are non-recording type only. Okay, imagining it is a non-recording type only. Here we are going to write a note indicating that out of the 11 new rain gauge stations that are required for this catchment area, 2 should be of recording type. I hope it is clear for you. Again you can check out, I have written a note over here. Once I get this 19 as your answer, 19 is not your final answer. As per the problem, if you check out, determine the optimum number of rain gauge stations required in the basin. So here, okay, fine, directly they are asking only the optimum number of rain gauge stations. So optimum number of rain gauge stations are 19, but it is always better to write this note. So this is indicated by what? N minus M. N is the total optimum number, M is nothing but the existing. So 19 minus 8 is giving me 11. So 11 new rain gauge stations are to be installed with the 2 recording type of rain gauge stations. Why this 2 is coming? Because of this 10% of recording type that it is required as per the theoretical concept. So this is much more necessitated for to make sure that the entire catchment area what we have will have a uniformity and much better collection of rainfall data with respect to the recording types. Okay, so this is the third problem again for the determination of optimum number of rain gauge stations.